Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Hedger begins now.
Good evening, everyone. A bushfire that triggered an emergency evacuation on Bruny Island on Christmas Day is now under control. Fire crews are continuing to mop up from the blaze, with damage including one property and several sheds. Michael Breen has this report.
A dozen fire crews have spent Boxing Day continuing to contain the blaze on Bruny Island. It broke out on the evening of Christmas Eve at Cloudy Bay on the southern side of the island. Around 100 people using the popular camping area were forced to evacuate in the early hours of yesterday morning. Winds fanning flames up to 40 metres high and spreading over 120 hectares. Conditions have eased now, allowing crews to black out the bushfire, making sure it's out. In the aftermath, authorities have confirmed one property and several sheds have been destroyed. But thanks to the efforts of emergency services giving up their Christmas Day, everyone is safe. One thing that did hamper their response, a drone flying at Kettering yesterday forced them to ground firefighting aircraft based there. Police say they'll be in contact with the Civil Aviation Safety Authority about the incident.
The investigation is in its infancy at the moment, but I do understand that it is ongoing and there will be some liaison with CASA at some stage during that investigation as to what the outcome will be.
Now the blaze is listed as under control tonight. Authorities say all areas of Bruny Island are accessible, including the camping areas, but Connolly's Point Road is closed. The fire service says the immediate threat has passed, but it's urging anyone in the area to remain aware. Updates can be found on the TFS website.
An 18-year-old man from Ravenswood remains in a critical condition in the Royal Hobart Hospital tonight after being involved in a 2-car crash in the state's north. It was one of 2 serious crashes emergency crews were called to on Christmas Day, prompting an urgent warning from police.
The scene of what could have been a tragic Christmas Day crash, prompting police to spread an all too familiar message.
To remind all motorists that to remember the fatal 5.
A 3-year-old girl remains in a stable condition in the Royal Hobart Hospital, pulled from the vehicle along with her 6-year-old sister after their young mother lost control along Hollow Tree Road in Bothwell yesterday morning.
We know what we've got to do on the roads to stay safe, and it's just bad choices that result in circumstances like it did yesterday.
With alcohol and drugs not considered a factor, police believe inattention was the cause. A similar story for the 2-vehicle crash along Pipers River Road in Lower Turners Marsh later that day, when a female driver veered onto the wrong side of the road, colliding with a car carrying 2 males. Our drivers must focus on the road at all times and pay attention, and not to be distracted by anything that may occur. The 18-year-old male passenger was airlifted to the RHH in a critical condition, with police once again urging motorists to play by the rules during one of the busiest times of the year as its road safety blitz, Operation Crossroads, continues. 40 drink drivers that have been removed from Tasmanian roads to ensure that it's safer for all road users and riders. Tom Cooper, 7 Tasmania News.
Meanwhile, a Wynyard man has lost his licence and been charged after he was allegedly detected driving 3 times over the legal limit. The 57-year-old was apprehended at around 8 a.m. during a police operation in Cooey with a reading of 0.151. Police say the incident should be an example for motorists to give themselves enough time after a night of drinking before getting behind the wheel. The driver is now banned for driving for 12 months and is set to face court early next year. An Alveston man who police say tested positive for drug driving on Christmas Eve has faced court over a string of traffic offences. It's understood officers tried to intercept him on Charles Street in the Launceston CBD, but he then tried to evade them. Police deployed road spikes on the highway but later took deliberate action to immobilise the vehicle. He's been charged with evading police, reckless driving, disqualified driving and the use of an unregistered motor vehicle. He'll appear in court again tomorrow. Tasmanians have indulged in retail therapy today, with crowds flocking to city centres for Boxing Day sales. Local retailers say there was no shortage of foot traffic, even with many customers choosing to instead hunt for bargains online.
If crowds like this aren't quite your cup of tea, chances are you probably gave this year's Boxing Day sales a miss. Shoppers turning out in droves across the state, all looking to bag a bargain.
We've been here since 8 today. It's very busy.
Wherever you go, it's all, a lot of shoppers and a lot of bargains.
We had to park out of town to get a parking spot.
Some say compared to the mainland, the numbers were tame.
I'm down from Sydney, so this is nothing compared to what I've been dealing with.
I think it's pretty good here because it's not many people as in Melbourne.
As for those who had spent enough before Christmas,
we're enjoying the sun, drinking coffee, enjoying the sun, but in terms of shopping, no, not today.
Retailers say shoppers always spend big on clothing, but this year they were also on the lookout for larger items.
Furniture is actually the big ticket item this year. Last year furniture didn't do big numbers, but this year furniture is actually doing really, really well. Big things like white goods as well. We're moving some small stuff, but it's big items this year.
While for others, it was out with the old.
It's great for the customers and it's great for us just to clear some of the stock that we have sitting out the back.
And even as some shoppers look online for the best deals, brick and mortar businesses say they're not losing out.
I don't think you can beat face-to-face transaction. Certainly in our business when people need advice on the right gear to buy. So some people already know what they want and they come in and they know that our prices are going to be great on Boxing Day.
We are online as a business, but we chose just to have the sale for the locals.
Judy Augustine, 7 Tasmania News.
Police hold grave fears for a bushwalker overdue from a trek in the southwest wilderness. 76-year-old James Hugh McLean from Flinders Island was due back from his month-long journey on the 13th of December, but failed to reach a food drop at Melaleuca. Today, authorities deployed the Westpac rescue helicopter to continue searching more than 100 kilometres worth of walking tracks in the area. Police say, given the length of time, lack of food supplies and difficult terrain, hopes of finding him alive are fading.
Comanche is currently leading the Sydney Hobart at Bawley Point, with Wild Oats 11 and InfoTrack close behind. Philip Turner's Alive is the best of the 3 Tasmanian yachts, currently sitting in 5th. Greg Prescott's 2 Unlimited is in 37th, while Black Sheep is in the bottom half. Well, after bringing you some of the country's biggest sporting stories of the year last night, we're now turning the spotlight to Tasmania. From golden highs to the moments which shocked local sport, 2018 has been another huge year for the state.
From the thrill of victory,
to come across that finish line, win the gold medal and give my sister a huge hug was something very special.
To the crush of defeat.
It's all over the coast again. The fight's over.
2018's been a year full of ups and downs for Tasmania. It began on the right note, a Burnie gift double for local runners Kiani Allen and Daniel Reeves. Then Hobart's Jacob Despard claimed the big one, the Stall gift, becoming only the 4th Tasmanian to win it. In April, the Gold Coast was a gold rush. We sent our most successful Commonwealth Games team of all time. Gold medals clinched by Jake Birtwistle, Amy Cure, Ariane Titmus, Rebecca Van Ash, basketballers Lucas Walker and Chris Golding, and kookaburras Jeremy Edwards and Eddie Ockenden, while new mum Katie Facina won weightlifting silver.
What a way to finish our Commonwealth Games!
A new Aussie cricket captain rose from sandpaper's ashes. Tim Payne thrust into the top job, becoming only the 2nd Tasmanian to captain the Aussie Test side.
Bizarre, strange, horrible 24 hours.
The state's first had accolades of his own. Ricky Ponting immortalised in Australian cricket's Hall of Fame.
I idolised every one of the A-grade players in my Mowbray Cricket Club team when I was 8, 9, 10 years of age.
Kingston had its first taste of AFL action. Penguin could host it next after opening its new oval, while AFL footy went under lights in Launceston for the first time.
I think this is the greatest fireworks in the VFL AFL game ever.
Local footy had little to cheer about. The TSL went down to 7 clubs after the Northwest teams pulled out, leading to scepticism the league would even exist next year.
I love coming down to Tasmania. I don't know if Tasmanians love me coming here.
The highlights, our 3 draftees, Taryn Thomas, Chase Jones and Fraser Turner. But of all the sports facing upheaval, perhaps the biggest was basketball, which went from adulation to exasperation.
When the kids asked this Christmas who killed Rex the Rhino, tell them it was Basketball Tasmania Grinch that killed Rex the Rhino.
At least the Huskies are happy. As far as heartbreaks go, it's hard to go past the unluckiest of them all.
No, he's not.
Oh, there he is. He's withdrawing. I don't believe it. This is so
Richie
heartbreaking.
Port's Tour de France, I think, is over.
There was another fiery round of the supercars at Symmons Plains. We farewelled a veteran in style.
It is win number 10 in Tasmania and career victory 106 for Craig Loud.
Alex Peroni captured the world's attention in Monaco, while the country's fastest on 2 wheels tore it up on the coast. And the Devonport Strikers did us all proud, becoming the first Tasmanian team to win an FFA Cup clash on the road. And who else would cap off the year like the king of King Island?
For Stuart McSwain, looking to elevate his standing into the pantheon of great distance running names.
Winning back-to-back Zatopek 10 titles earlier this month and adding a final highlight as the siren sounds on a huge year of sport.
Good evening. A great day across the state for Boxing Day today. There was some low-level cloud over most of Tasmania this morning, which contracted to the north and east coast during the day. Scott's Peak on the west coast had the state's high of 27 degrees. Hobart reached a high of 20, 25 in Launceston, and Burnie and Devonport both 21. Ouse was a warm 26 today, 24 at Friendly Beaches and Flinders Island. Smithton 23, 21 for King Island, St Helens, Maria Island, Grove and Strawn, while Lowhead and Lyweenie were both 20 degrees. Low-level cloud is seen on the satellite situated over the east coast, Central Highlands and Flinders Island today, while wispy high-level cloud sits along the west coast. Generally clear skies across the central and southern parts of Australia today due to a ridge of high pressure, and thunderstorm activity is around a low pressure trough across the country's tropical north. Tomorrow the high pressure centre moves over the Tasman Sea and a cold front is approaching Tasmania's west. The east coast of Australia is influenced by a high pressure ridge and surface troughs that dominate the rest of Australia. Now a look at the coastal waters. Winds mainly northwest to northeasterly 5 to 15 knots, reaching 20 knots offshore in the south. Seas 1 to 1.5 metres. Tomorrow a partly cloudy day across the state. Hobart 24, 25 at Cygnet and New Norfolk 29 degrees. Launceston and Campbelltown 28, 23 in Devonport. A possible shower for Burnie 22, 24 at Strawn, Smithton 23 with a possible late shower. St Helens 25 along with Swansea, Fingal expecting 29 degrees. The UV is extreme 11s and 12s tomorrow. Looking ahead to Friday, showers clearing later in the morning, but light showers and possible storms developing during the afternoon. Saturday, showers expected about the state, and on Sunday, showers about the north and east, mostly clearing by the afternoon. Mostly sunny conditions across the mainland tomorrow, apart from showers and storms in the tropical north. Currently in Hobart, it's 19 and mostly cloudy, Launceston 22 and sunny, Devonport 19 and partly cloudy, and Louise, it looks like a pretty warm day ahead for tomorrow.
It sure does, Carmen. Thank you for that. That's all your news for now. Have a lovely evening. We'll see you tomorrow.